Okay, maybe. So I took a little longer than I was originally wanting to. A month is quite a bit of a jump from normally posting every week. So that is something that is completely my fault. School caught up to me, life caught up to me. I'm reading a book. There's a lot of stuff going on, and also like some commissions I've been doing that I've been kind of procrastinating on, but I've forced myself to get through. So without further ado, let's just get on with the video before I start rambling, and I'll just ramble at the end of the video to fill in any gaps that I need to fill in. So the first speed paint is, I actually put them in order that I made them. So this first one is actually the first one I made, in order. Personally, I think this one is the best one that I made, because not only was it the first one, but also because I put more effort into it than the others. I'm gonna be 100% honest. But this one, of course, as you saw on screen, it is Sunburst from My Little Pony. Now, like I said, this video is supposed to be about me talking about old fictional crushes, and I will be. Sunburst was like one of the first characters that I genuinely stopped and thought if I liked them or not, if I wanted to be them or actually be with them. And Sunburst was one of the first characters that actually made me think that. There are many characters that made me think that, don't worry, I'm probably gonna make like a part 2 or 3 to this video, so just sit back and relax. But yeah, Sunburst was like one of the first characters that I genuinely like fell in love with as a child, and for good reason too. He's just this little dork guy who loves magic and reading books, and he gets so excited when he gets to talk about like things that he knows about, or whenever Twilight or Starlight needs like something, he's always there for them, and I love that. And I wish he was a real person. I wish, because if he was, I'd be so happy. I'd be kicking, I'd be screaming, I'd cry a little probably too, but yeah. My Little Pony was like one of my biggest hyperfixations when I was younger. Still now too, because I love My Little Pony. I made like a whole My Little Pony Infection AU, which I have not continued, which I should probably get to. That's gonna be a later me thing though, because later me can worry about that. But yeah, Sunburst, what am I doing? Sunburst has always been one of my favorite characters in general for My Little Pony. If I were to say which main 6 character was my favorite growing up, it would be like between Rarity and Pinkie Pie. I liked Rarity because of her like happy, like she's not willing to put herself down and will not give herself anything less than she deserves, and I love that for her. And then Pinkie Pie just because she's silly and she's Pinkie, and like who doesn't like Pinkie Pie? She's just so silly. So yeah, that's me on the main 6. But I'll take this time a little bit to talk about my Infection AU. I've been working on it, but I just haven't had the time to like actually plan out or like figure out how I want the story to go, because I know how I want it to end. It started, so I know where it's supposed to go, but I don't know how to get there. And when I mean by I don't have time, I mean I'm procrastinating and I don't want to do it. So that's just something, guys. That's just a little something. I'm just saying that sometimes you just don't want to do it, and it's okay if you don't want to do something. That's why it took me so long to make this video, because I just did not want to finish it. But I finished it, which honestly, I'm proud of myself that I actually did finish it, even though the last 2 drawings look like absolute crap. But that's okay. I tried my best. I did what I was supposed to. I got there in the end. Will I put like better like thing or like goals for myself later on in future videos? Probably. Will I make those goals? Probably not. But that's okay, because I'm still learning how to do this YouTube thing, and that's fine with me. I'm taking my time. I was about to say I'm jumping off railroads, but that doesn't make sense at all. I should probably script this as well. I should probably start scripting things. But that seems boring. My voice cracked there a little bit. What's the fun in scripting? You're just reading off what's on a paper. Why not go with the flow? Even though the flow is kind of a dumb thing to do. Anyways, more Sunburst and stars, because he has stars on his thing, and I'm like, oh, I found the star brush on Pinterest, so I'm gonna use it. Also, I will point this out, I forgot his name was Sunburst for like 2 whole minutes, and I put Starburst as in like the freaking candy, I think. Is that what it's called? Starbursts? Sunbursts? Starburst. And a friend pointed out and just like, it's Sunburst, you idiot. And I'm like, thanks. And so I fixed it, and here's the final result. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. He's so cute and I love him. Look at his little smile. He's just silly and he's having fun, and I love it. And I'm really proud of this one. So I hope you guys like this drawing too. Now let's go on to the next one before I start rambling all over again, and I don't really want that to be this whole video, just me rambling, even though I'm still rambling. Oh, and there's my dog. Hi, Nico. Crumb, get off. Crumb. And this next drawing is Miss Bellum from the Powerpuff Girls. Now, if you tell me that you did not have a crush on Miss Bellum from the Powerpuff Girls when you were younger, you do not exist to me. Because I had one of the biggest crushes on her, as well as the professor, like the Powerpuff Girls' dad. I loved them. And they were like some of my biggest hyperfixations when I was younger. And yes, I loved them. So, as you can see from like the original drawing, I'm going more, for a darker skin-toned Miss Bellum, because you can tell from like the original cartoon she was supposed to have a darker skin tone, or a darker skin tone, but they just like kind of opted for an orangish tan, which I personally am not really a big fan of. So I took it within me to actually make her have a darker skin tone, as you can see from the drawing. Will I get a little bit of like stuff, like yeah, because people don't really like. Nico, what are you doing here? My dog's here. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by my dog. Not a lot of people like when you make people. What do you want? I'm trying to do something here. As I was saying, some people don't like when you make a character have a darker skin tone. And to that I say I do not care, because I love Miss Bellum, and she's obviously supposed to be a black / darker skin toned woman. So I am going to make her however I want her to look. So if anybody dislikes that I drew her with a darker skin tone, I don't care. Respectfully, I don't care. So don't take that with like out of context. That I'm like, personally, this is just my opinion on how I think she would look like. If you have another way or another thought of like how she looks like in your own head, good for you. But I'm not the same person as you, and you're not the same person as me. We obviously can have different opinions, and that's fine. Some people need to understand that sometimes. But yeah, Miss Bellum. I had a little hard time. I'm not used to drawing black or nappy like hairstyles. It's something that I definitely need to practice in my art more often, and I will most likely do that in the future. I'm not going to procrastinate on that, because I do have time to do that actually. So I will probably work on drawing those types of hair textures and stuff sooner rather than later. But it's not the worst texturization that I've done, but it could be so much better. I can agree that it can just be so much more cohesive than just a blob with some curly cues in it. I definitely will mark myself down for that one, because I do need to work on those types of hair textures more often. Especially because I actually have really thick hair, and I actually have similar hair texture to where it like frizzes and frays because of the type of hair that I have. Thanks, Mom. So I understand like how hard it is to find textures in hairs, or at least like show them. So I will definitely work on that in the future. And like I said, it'll probably sooner rather than later, because I do have time to do that, and school sometimes like in art class, you get some time to yourself and then you just can do it, because sometimes you get done with the projects faster than other students and you have time to do studies. So it's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. Oh, and my ear started ringing. Ooh, I didn't like that. I don't know why my ear started ringing, but I felt it. Anyways, back to the drawing. Here, as you can see, I'm adding textures to the hair, to the like dress, to her skin. I'm adding textures everywhere. This does not come back in the next two drawings, I think, or at least in the last one. I know in the last one I don't do this texturization because I was lazy and I had to get it done. Like I said, at least I got it done. It's not my best work. Will I work on like keeping that motivation on in the future? Yes, but at least I got it done, man. I'm actually really happy with what I did here. I like the way that I did the highlights. I used like a color pencil textured pen from Ibis Paint from Pinterest that I found. So this is the finished product of the Miss Bellum drawing. I'm personally really happy with how it turned out. Do I think the Sunburst one is better? Yes, I do think that the Sunburst one is better, but hey. Okay, so this next one. You're probably wondering, why is Hatsune Miku here? And I have a perfectly good explanation. When I was younger, I used to live by a library in the town that I live in, and I would spend every single summer at the library because, you know, cheap entertainment, you know? My sister and I would always go over. I would get like 2 books, she would get like 2 books, and we'd come back, we'd read, or like watch movies. How we'd also like borrow from the library because our library has movies too. But eventually I found out what manga was. And if you do not know, there is a manga called the unofficial Hatsune Miku manga or something like that. Let me find it. Okay, I found it. It's called Unofficial Hatsune Miku Story and Art by K. So this manga was one of the first mangas I've ever read. Like, I'm not joking. It was like the first one. And when I tell you I fell in love with manga from this singular one, it was literally life-changing. I had the biggest crush on Hatsune Miku. How or why? No clue. No clue. I just thought she was so pretty and I thought she was so silly. And that's how I started listening to Vocaloid music, through this manga. And I honestly am very happy that I found this manga, because if I hadn't, I wouldn't love anime as much as I do now, or I wouldn't even listen to Japanese music as I do now. It's crazy how something so small can be so life-altering, and I genuinely appreciate that that the library had that book, and I'd be able to find my special interest that way. And honestly, I'm not what you would say a professional Hatsune Miku fan, or like the hardcore Hatsune Miku fan. Do I want to become a hardcore Hatsune Miku fan? Or a Vocaloid fan in general? Yes, I actually do. But I don't know where to start. So that's something. But that manga genuinely changed my life. And I am so happy that I ever had the confidence to actually get that manga, because it was genuinely so much fun to read. And basically what that manga was about was just Hatsune Miku going on like little adventures with her friends and Rin and Lin. Len? Is it Rin and Len? Something like that. I'm sorry if I mispronounced their names. I have not read this manga in a while, and I have not listened to Vocaloid music in like about a month. So if I say something incorrect, I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. But yeah, it genuinely changed my life. It was something that genuinely surprised me. I had no clue things like that existed, and I will forever, my life is forever changed. Like, that's something that's crazy. My life will forever be changed. And I love Hatsune Miku now. Like I said, I do want to become, oh, my voice cracked really badly there. Oh, I do want to become like a better, or like better Vocaloid fan, like know of other Vocaloids and like if people get it wrong, I can correct them. I've always liked being that type of person, even though not a lot of people like it. I like knowing. I like having as much knowledge in this little tiny brain of mine with 2 little brain cells as much as I can. Like, there's not, like, my smooth brain doesn't even have that much in it. It just has like 2 little wrinkles, and those wrinkles are working overtime all the time, and that's okay. they're trying to survive out here, guys, and that's fine. But as you can see, I don't add as much texture as I did to the others. Do I wish I added more texture? Yes, but then again, I was procrastinating and I just wanted to get this drawing done as fast as possible. Is it one of my best drawings? Like I said, no, it's really not. I do like how I like drew the hair. I added some textures and stuff like with other brushes, but besides that, I didn't really do as much as I wish I could have done. And I am a little upset about that, but I'm fine knowing that I actually got the piece done at least. So that's something. But I am happy with how it turned out. I do think it's cute, but the last one is not that great. But yeah, it's my Hatsune Miku drawing. Am I happy with it? I kind of am. Am I a little disappointed that it's not my best? A little bit, but I'll probably draw Hatsune Miku better in the future. And finally, the last drawing of the video. It's Rosalina. I love Rosalina. When I first saw Rosalina, like, from a game, I genuinely fell in love with her. And not only that, MatPat, I'm so sad that he retired, but, like, when MatPat made the video of who's Rosalina's parents, I literally gasped, because I didn't know who Rosalina was until that moment, and I was flabbergasted at how beautiful she was. And I was like, this woman is pretty. So, of course, I had to draw her. Personally, I think this is the worst drawing that I made for this video. You guys will probably agree with me because it's not my best, but it's something. It happened. I'm glad I finished it. Does it look great? No, but at least it's finished. And that's fine with me. I don't really mind if it's my worst, because if all my drawings were perfect, I probably would not be here. I'd probably not even exist, because perfection doesn't even exist, guys. Perfection is a lie. And that's fine with me. But like I said, it's fun. It's fun just drawing stuff, and I don't know where this is going. Actually, I kind of spaced out there for a second. Sorry, back to the drawing. Again, I love Rosalina. She's pretty. She's incredible. And do I think this drawing made her, like, did her justice? No. And I'm kind of sad, but that's fine. That's fine with me. And after having been interrupted again by my sister, she just called me. I'm back. Sorry. Well, it didn't seem like I left for you guys, but for me, I was gone for like 40 minutes talking to my sister. So, yeah, that's something. And yeah, so silly me, silly stuff, silly things. As you can see, I kind of messed up the drawing at first, and I was like, I don't like how that eye turned out, so I went back and redid it. For this one, I did something that I don't usually do, and I didn't do the top lip a dark or like the line art color, because I usually do that because it's my style, you know, it's my style. And so I decided that because Rosalina has full pink lips, that I decided that I was just gonna do that instead. And so that's something I did. I did that, and I think that's awesome. And I just got a message from someone. One second, let me just... Another detour. I'm back again, even though for you guys, again, it wasn't anything. But I've returned. The anatomy in this drawing is actually kind of pissy. I'm kind of pissed. I don't really like how the anatomy looks as much as it's just not great. The anatomy is just not great. I dislike it with a burning passion. It's not awesome. It's Oh, I actually did add the scratches and details. Props for me for actually trying. But back to the drawing, like the actual thing. I don't like how the anatomy looked. If you can tell, like the back and the waist, they don't really line up. And the arms aren't great. Like the arm seems longer than it's supposed to be. The hand isn't that good. Or at least the hand that's like closer to us than it is like hiding behind her hair. The one hiding behind her hair, that one's fine. It's just not well drawn. But the one that's closer to the front is just not good in general. And I really don't like it. Will I keep these things in mind for the future? Yes, because I do want to get better at my anatomy. I'll do anatomy studies as well as like the hair studies that I said that I was going to do. Hopefully I actually improve. If I don't, I'm actually going to start crying. But besides that, I'm pretty sure I'll do fine. I just need to do more studies for certain things and I'll get it done sooner or later. But this one, like I said, is my least favorite drawing of the bunch. It's not the best, but it's not the worst, you know. But for me personally, I just thought it wasn't as good as the others. But hey, art is subjective, as you know. But the finished product, this one I did in like an hour compared to like the first one that I did in 3 hours. So as you can see, I had my priorities straight. But that's the end of the video. And it's now my little mini rant time. So, as the drawings show up on screen, I will be talking about like what I'm planning on doing for the next video. The next video, I'm not sure if I want to do a continuation of these childhood crushes or me doing a video about redesigning my Sona, as like you can see this, my Sona is on screen. Not that I dislike my Sona, I'm gonna keep like the base and the body. It's just the clothing that's kind of like I'm not really feeling it anymore like I used to. So I'm not sure if I want to do a redesign of my Sona's clothing for next video or a continuation of like the whole fictional crushes thing from childhood fictional crushes. So if you guys want to see one rather than the other, let me know. I really don't mind like holding off on a video or the other because I just want to create stuff. You know, I just like creating things, whether it's YouTube videos or something stupid on the internet. So yeah, thanks for watching the video and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys hopefully in the next video. That's maybe doesn't take me like a month long to make, but you know, time gets to us sometimes and you just don't really realize how fast time has gone. But see you guys later.